What's up everyone, Nukin here, and welcome back again to my channel. Today we'll be talking about Hermit Yoda. So I'm going to review his kit with you all. I'll give my insights there, and then from there we'll move on to some theory crafting, like what are his Zetas and what are the order you should Zeta this character, what teams can you run him on, and we're going to also talk about how to mod him, which is pretty important because he is a very unique character, as you'll soon find out. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. It helps a lot. And you know what? Share this video with your friends and your guild so they can learn something too. So let's have some fun here and let's get started. Alright, so here's Hermit Yoda. He looks pretty cool. He is a light side Jedi support hero. He has no leadership ability, but he has 2 Zetas. He unlocks at 5 stars, which typically requires 145 shards, and you're going to be able to acquire him in the guild event store. It's a new store that's coming to the game very soon. We don't know for how much, and we don't know how rare he's going to be in that store, if he's going to be rare like the TIE Advances in the Fleet store, or if he's going to have a permanent slot kind of like General Grievous in the Shard Shop. But we know that we're going to be able to acquire his shards from this new store. So now let's kind of move on and start talking about his abilities. So Hermit Yoda comes out with a bang with a very unique basic ability, and it reads, all other allies recover 10% health and 5% protection. All other Jedi allies gain 5% turn meter. So this basic ability, Master's Protection, is the first ability in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes to do 0 damage. That's right, 0. So it doesn't do any damage, and I think it's pretty cool because it's pretty strong to recover health and protection and give turn meter, but he doesn't do any damage. So it's pretty unique in that way, and I think it paves the way for other characters like potentially C-3PO. People have been wanting him in the game, and he's not really a fighter himself, so maybe he'll get the Hermit Yoda treatment going forwards. And I think it's cool that he's giving specific things to Jedis, but he's usable with other allies because it says all other allies are going to gain health and protection. So initial thoughts, he works on a Jedi team, but he can work with other team members as well. Let's continue looking at his kit. Hermit Yoda's first special is called Master's Training, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. It reads, Yoda gains stealth for 2 turns, dispel all debuffs on the other target other ally, and grant them Master's Training unique buff until the end of the encounter. Then call all allies with the Master's Training to assist. Now, Master's Training is a unique buff that can't be dispelled or prevented, and it increases the accuracy, defense, offense, potency, and tenacity of the hero by 25%, and it's doubled for Jedi. So let's break this down. He grants himself stealth, which works with his unique, which we'll cover in just a moment, but more importantly, he's able to cleanse another ally. Cleanse is always welcome in Squad Arena, but he doesn't cleanse himself, so that's something to note. Now this new buff that he applies, Master's Training, that's a huge amount, 25%, and it's doubled for Jedi, so it gets crazier. It can't be dispelled, and it lasts till the end of the encounter. This thing is like a mega buff, and all of these bonuses are doubled for Jedi, so Jedi are going to be really strong, I think, with this guy. And if that mouthful wasn't enough, he calls all other allies to assist. It's like a mega assist attack like Kenobi or Cody, so it's really good. This special is amazing. Second special ability is called Strength Flows from the Force. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, and it reads, all allies have their current health percentages equalized. Then all allies recover 20% health, 20% protection, and Jedi allies gain Foresight for 2 turns. So this is his second ability. It's an AoE, which stands for Area of Effect Heal. Heals are nice, but Protection Regen is even better, and it does both. And I think this is quite strong because certain characters have no health steal whatsoever. 2 of them end up actually being Jedi. So Grandmaster Yoda, the other Yoda we have in the game, and Qui-Gon Jinn probably the best Jedi leader in the game right now for Squad Arena. Both do not have any health steal, so this will help characters like that. And so allowing them to recover health and protection could prove to be useful. On top of that, when your characters are down to just your health, sometimes it's already over for them, and so this might be, you know, a way for you to have a window to kind of stabilize the match, to get foresight, and that combination of foresight for your Jedi allies and some health and protection regen can kind of bring you back into the game. Lastly, Hermit Yoda has two unique abilities. The first one is called In Exile. Yoda gains stealth for 2 turns at the start of the encounter, and he has 100% evasion while stealth. When there are no active allies, Yoda escapes from battle. So it seems like our little hermit has been training with the Sith, like with Darth Maul or something over here, because he starts the match off with stealth and he has lots of evasion. So on offense, when combining this with this unique with his first special and other characters like R2-D2, you're basically going to keep him stealth for the entire match for quite a long time. And when he's stealth, he's going to be dodging like crazy, so even AoE attacks won't be touching him. Here's the unique thing about his ability though, so let's actually slowly reread that. When there are no active allies, Yoda escapes from battle. So what I believe this means is, if you're playing with your Hermit Yoda and the enemy kills 4 other heroes on your team and he's all by himself, he's going to run away back to a swamp on Dagobah or something, and you're going to lose the match. So you must try to keep your team alive at all costs. And the second unique ability is called Do or Do Not. Whenever an ally with Master's Training is defeated, Yoda is going to gain 100% turn meter and reset all of his cooldowns. So this is pretty interesting. This is kind of like a tempo move because it basically keeps the team going strong with the ability for him to gain full turn meter, get to go, reset all his cooldowns, which he's probably going to end up using his first special right away, which gives someone the Master's Training buff. So you're kind of losing one ally with the buff and granting it to another right away. And on top of that, he's going to be able to quickly, the next turn after that, do his area of effect heal, and it's going to kind of stabilize the match a little bit when this occurs. So Hermit Yoda has 2 Zeta abilities, and if you're going to double Zeta this character, you're probably going to want to do it in this order: Special first and Unique second. So the special ability, Strength Flows from the Force, the Zeta adds a -1 cooldown, it adds the 20% protection recovery, and it adds the Jedi allies gain Foresight for 2 turns. All super powerful things, and also much more powerful than the unique. The unique Zeta only adds whenever an ally with Master Training is defeated, Yoda's cooldowns are reset. Resetting your cooldowns is nice, but you shouldn't really bank on having your team members die in the first place. It sounds kind of like it's a better version of the Empire Stormtroopers Zeta. It's not bad, but it's not as good as his special. Alright, so let's get into some teams here. So I've theory crafted 2 teams for Squad Arena. We have a Jedi team and a Jedi Rebel hybrid team. And then I've theory crafted 1 Rancor auto team. So let's get into the Squad Arena teams first, because that's probably what you're most interested in. And quick note, in the top right, that is actually Grandmaster Yoda. Just pretend that that is a Hermit Yoda, because Hermit Yoda's character model does not exist at the time of this recording inside the game, but he will be coming to the game pretty shortly. So this is my account here, and we have Qui-Gon Jinn in the leader position. You're going to want to Zeta that leadership ability. He is the best Jedi leader in the game with that Zeta. And then you want to put R2-D2. He is great with the Jedi. If you're running a Jedi team in Arena, most likely you're using him, and you want to double Zeta him for sure. And then you have Hermit Yoda, of course, with the Zetas. He has 2 Zetas, so this is a 5 Zeta team. And then for the attacker, we put in Anakin. Anakin is a great attacker all around. I know some people are using Ezra, but I think he might actually work better with Hermit Yoda on a Jedi team, because he has debuffs to land, the Master Training buff gives potency, and on top of that it gives tenacity, which allows him to try to resist stun and daze, which is also a counter to Anakin. So that's quite good, and Kenobi's one of the best tanks in the game, and he just happens to be a Jedi, so that's really good. Now moving on to the next team, we have a Jedi Rebel hybrid team. So Commander Luke is one of the best characters in the game right now. He's even better when he's a leader, so we put him in the leadership slot. R2-D2 is actually a rebel. He's not a Jedi, but he's a rebel, and he's going to gain benefits from that leadership ability for the counterattacks. And Ezra is also a rebel, so he's going to benefit from that leadership position. Ezra's also a Jedi, so he's going to work with Hermit Yoda. Kenobi, we already talked about, he's a great tank, and he's going to work with Hermit Yoda as well. Even though he doesn't gain any benefits from Commander Luke's leadership ability, you can kind of throw in Kenobi on almost any team. So this team is quite strong, it's quite balanced as well. You have some attackers, you have some support heroes, you have a tank, so quite a strong team. If you're going to face Hermit Yoda in the arena, you're probably going to face one of those two teams. And then lastly, if you haven't figured out how to auto the Rancor yet, what are you waiting for? And I just thought I'd put this team together because you probably can auto the Rancor. I've yet to try it, but I'm pretty sure that my theory crafting is solid on this one. Tebow Lead was the first team to actually be able to auto the Rancor. Whenever Tebow stealth and he does a basic attack, he's going to reduce 100% turn meter, and R2-D2 is going to make sure that he is stealth all the time. So that's the combo there. Now, Jyn Erso and Commander Luke are the two best sort of solo good heroic Rancor auto characters. They reduce 100% turn meter, and they are on a lot of the auto teams nowadays. And then Hermit Yoda, how does he actually work with this team? Well, the master training buff gives potency, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for high potency to make sure that you pass the potency tenacity check of the Rancor, so you're going to reduce turn meter. And then on top of that, the master training buff special calls all allies to assist that have the buff already on. So when you have it on Tebow, he's going to have more potency, and he's going to get called to assist outside of his turn, so you're just more likely that you're going to be reducing turn meter more often, which is basically how you auto the raid. Rancor never takes a turn, and you're always reducing the turn meter back down to 0. So those are some of the teams that I theory crafted. I hope you enjoy them and have a lot of fun with your Hermit Yoda using some of those teams. Alright, so lastly, let's talk about how we would mod Hermit Yoda. So like we stated earlier, Hermit Yoda's basic does 0 damage, so you're kind of going to change the way that you generically mod this character for the first time ever. So you're looking for mods that actually don't give critical chance and critical damage and offense in the primary position stats, or the mod set bonuses themselves, or in the secondaries. So it's okay if you have some of them in here. So for example, this mod is a triangle health mod, which is going to be quite good on a character like Hermit Yoda, and you're going to be having 4 secondaries for every mod. This mod actually has some critical chances in the secondary slot. That's okay, just know that it's not going to be very useful for him because his basic does 0 damage. So what you're actually looking for is a 4-piece speed set, and then you're looking for any sort of 2-piece set that has high secondary speed. So any mod that has secondary speed, of course you're going to want secondary speed also on the speed mods that you're using, and the faster that you can get your Hermit Yoda to go, the more often he's going to use his supporting capabilities, and that's really what is going to make him good, because he's not doing damage, he's just there to support your team. He's like the ultimate support hero. So a speed arrow, of course, especially in squad arena, and then we looked at the triangle already, and lastly for the cross, probably like health or tenacity. Probably tenacity would be best in slot, because I think you can still get debuffs even though you are evading, or it goes through foresight or something like that. So probably health or tenacity or protection in this last slot. But what you're really looking for, the main ingredient to the success is to make him go really fast. So you want secondary speed, and this one had 8 speed and it had some health and stuff in there. So that's basically how you're going to mod your Yoda. Your goal is to focus on speed. Try to avoid mods that have offense and critical chance and stuff like that, because it's wasted on a character like this. And that's kind of how you're going to win with Hermit Yoda. The quicker you can go, the more often you're using your support abilities, and that's how you're going to win the match. Alright, gonna start wrapping up this video now. Today we went more in depth than you probably ever wanted to go with Hermit Yoda. We reviewed his kit, the order to upgrade his Zeta abilities, the teams to run him on, and the mods to use. So please share and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers!